Good afternoon, Gills fans, and welcome back to another video by Gills in the Blood TV. It's two for the price of one this afternoon as we start our monthly prediction series. Myself, Stocky, and Boz will all offer our thoughts on the league games coming up in the first month of the season. And then we have a couple of guest appearances from other fans. So we'll let you have a look through them, and then at the back end of the video there will be a preview of the first league game of the season, which is tomorrow as we travel to Doncaster Rovers. But first I'm going to leave you with Stocky and Boz and a couple of other fans as they give you their predictions for the league month of August.
Good afternoon, Gills fans. Stocky and Boz here, just giving our predictions for the coming month. And I think we've both had a bit of a knock on the head, haven't we? Because
pre-season's taken a bit of a...
Yeah, we've both gone for an unbeaten August. So we'll start off with the opening game. We've got Doncaster coming up on Saturday. Boz, what are you going with?
I've gone with 1-1, simply because any point on their first day is a good point, and obviously they're going to be riding high, aren't they, after promotion?
Yeah, I've also gone 1-1 as well. I think it'd be a tough opening game, but I think we'd be hard to beat this year, which
I don't think we concede too many goals.
No, so exactly. I don't know how many we necessarily win, but I think we'd be hard to beat.
Yep.
And 1-1, I think they've made a few decent additions to their squad.
I believe they've got a Premier League midfielder coming in as well.
Yeah, they've made two signings today, haven't they? And they've still got John Marquis from last year. So, moving on to the Bradford game, first home game of the season. What are you saying?
I've gone 1-0 because we don't generally lose to Bradford at home. We're normally quite good against them at home, and they've lost a few of their players, haven't
they? Yeah, they've got pretty much the same squad. They haven't made too many additions from last season.
I don't think they'll be as strong.
No, they won't be as strong. I've gone with 2-0, so we've both gone with clean sheets. Similar thinking. So, yeah, 2-0. Stop it. MK Dons away. You've gone with...
I've gone for a 1-1. Again, any point away is a good point.
And I've gone with a surprise 3-1 away win to the Gills, which I don't know why, but I just got a feeling like we matched them last year and we was unlucky to lose in the last minute. But I just sense that we're going to pick up a win this time. And again, I don't think they're a bit like Bradford. Their squad's not as strong as it is normally.
No.
So I've gone with 3-1 win, still unbeaten, and moving on to Southend, last game of August.
Yeah, similar to Bradford, we don't usually lose to Southend at home, do we? We're normally quite positive when we've had come to town. I've gone for a 2-1 win.
And I've gone with 2-2. I think it'll be a tough game for us. They've brought in quite a few good players. Now Rangers gone back
They're just short of defenders, I think.
Yeah, and
I think they'll be the other way about.
Michael Kitely's gone there as well, which surprised me.
Massive signing this league.
Yeah, he's doing well at Burton last year. So yeah, 2-2. Both been beaten in August.
This could be a very different September, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, going with the goals, my predictions, I've got 8 goals there. Which
I've got 5 and conceded 3. So it's plus.
Where do you think the goals are going to come from?
I don't think we're going to have a main man. I think it's going to be spread out massively this season. I think it could be a season where our leading scorer ends up like 7 or 8, but it could be 3 or 4 of them with that.
I think it'll be similar to last year, in that it'll be midfielders picking up the majority of the goals, and with Lee Martin, who's recently confirmed as captain today, I can see him getting a few more, especially playing just behind the strikers as well, and linking up well with Tom Eaves and whoever's up top.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking it's going to be Parker on Saturday, because Wilkinson's still a doubt, isn't he? But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So nice positive from me and Boz, which is
a very massive rarity.
Yeah, very rarity, and we're just going to go have a lie down and have a think about it. Not together, but have a lie down.
Doncaster away on the Saturday is our first game of the season. I think this game will end in a 1-1 draw. First game of the season, so everyone will be trying to suss each other out, and also they have a player like John Marquis who could punish us from any distance. With our goalkeeping problems, Thomas Holy looks to be the number one, and I'm very scared that he will make a mistake and allow him to score. I think our defence probably going to be a back 3 with Zakwani, Aimer, probably O'Neill. That will stay strong enough and probably won't concede more than 1. And hopefully at the other end we have players like Lee Martin, Tom Eaves who can bag 1 goal. Next game after that is Bradford at home. Recently we've had a good record against Bradford, not losing since I think about February 2014. But on paper these are one of the best sides in the league, probably behind Blackburn and a few others who have missed out. But I feel with our performances, with our hard work and everything, I feel we can gain a 2-1 win here. seem to have very good performances against them. Hopefully we can get Priestfield rocking, get everyone behind the team, and hopefully have a good game. The game after that is our second away game of the season, which we play Milton Keynes Dons. The last 2 games we played, we lost 3-2 and 4-2 up at Stadium MK. A big stadium, a big pitch. I fear this could be the game we come a bit undone and lose 2-1. I think we will once again remain defensively strong, and we will try everything we can and work hard. I don't think it'll be the thought of trying. I think we will score once again, but I do fear that they may have a bit of quality on us, and it will be a hard afternoon up there. The final game of August is against Southend at home. Now, I think Southend have done one of the best businesses throughout the season so far, signing players like Michael Kitely, getting Noah Ranger on a permanent deal, and they could cause some real trouble if they come down to Priestfield and fire properly. But once again, with the Priestfield behind us, the home advantage and stuff like that, I feel we can get a 1-1 draw here. I think it'll be tough, I think it'll be difficult, I think Southend will be up there. But what I'm hoping is that everyone puts in 100%, we can nick a goal, and I think it'll be a 1-1 draw.
Good evening, I'm Dave Miller at True Blue Jock. Matt's asked me to give my thoughts on Gillingham in the month of August. 4 games in the league. First up, Doncaster. I think we're going to sneak this 1-0. Blind optimism perhaps, but this time last year I was backing Gills to go down in an accumulator, and I was very nearly right. So hopefully I'm right again, in the sense that we're going to have a better season, certainly better at the back. Hence, I think we'll be tighter. Bingham in front of the back 4 is going to be crucial. I think it's an excellent, very shrewd purchase. We're a bigger side, a stronger side, a more physical side, and despite the goalkeeping situation, I'm going to go for us to nick it 1-0. Next up is a home game against Bradford. Bradford great last season, really good. Stuart McCall did really well, but are they going to maintain that standard this season? I'm not so sure. I think it's going to be tougher for them. I think, again, it's going to be tight. I genuinely don't know what we're going to get from Bradford. So, could be last season, could be the way I'm thinking. So I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw there. Then we travel to Stadium MK. Again, another one of these teams. What are we going to get from MK? No one's bigging MK up. No one's sort of saying, MK going to be good this season. Should have got a point there last year. Outplayed for an hour. Played really well for half an hour. Came back to 2-2. And an absolute howler on a set piece. Cost us a valuable point, which ultimately would have made the final game of the season a little bit easier. I'm going to say that we're going to get a 1-1 draw there. Last up, a home game against Southend. Interesting on this. Myself and Matt had a little bit of a discussion on the way to the Q&A. Matt believes that Southend has strengthened really well, could be a dark horse. I believe the opposite. I think Phil Brown did very well last season. They overachieved last season. I think they'll struggle to maintain that. I really do. And as a result, I'm going to say the Gills are going to win by 2-0 and maintain their sign over Southend. Certainly the last couple of years, we seem to have the hoodoo on them, and I'm going to maintain that. Further reasons for my optimism. Traditionally, we've started well in the last couple of years. So again, strengthens my belief that we're going to get a win on Saturday. And maybe it's blind optimism. Maybe it's the couple of glasses of red wine. I don't know. But I'm going to go for a haul during August of 8 points. Genuinely hope I'm right. And up the Gills.
Cheers, fellas, for the predictions. To Stocky, to Boz, to Zach, and also to Dave. Much appreciated. Thanks for getting involved. Plenty of positivity there. And I think I'm going to have to echo that. I don't know whether that's through just blind loyalty or the fact that the football season's returning, or just plain stupidity. But Doncaster away tomorrow. obviously we know they got promoted last season, but they didn't end well after ensuring promotion. They didn't finish the season strongly at all. And with our newfound resilience, and from what I've seen in pre-season, the hard work and the fitness levels all being improved, I'm going to go for a creditable 1-1 draw before the first home game of the season, which is Bradford. But it's not quite the Bradford that finished last season. After getting to the playoff final and losing to Millwall, they've sadly for them, lost a few key players, including James Meredith, Stephen Darby, Mark Marshall. They've all moved on to other clubs, and generally in recent history, our record at home to Bradford has not been too bad at all. So for that reason, I'm going to say a 2-1 Gillingham win. Third league game of the month, MK Dons. Now we beat them last season at home, kept a clean sheet. I think we won 3-0. No, sorry, 1-0, Cody McDonald. And the away game, we went up there and were poor to go 2-0 down before battling back to get to 2-2, and it looked like we was going to earn a creditable draw. Unfortunately, Thomas Holy had other ideas at the end, and we couldn't see out the last 20 seconds of the game. But again, back to our newfound resilience and hopefully defensive stability, plus the fact that if my first two predictions come off, we'll be riding high in terms of confidence. I'm going to go for a gutsy 0-0 draw. And then we end the league month at home to Southend United. Again, we tend to have a decent record against them. We did the double over them last season, which was no mean feat considering where they finished and where we finished. They tend to be slowish starters if you look back at the last few seasons. And again, we have a decent record against them. So once again, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Gillingham win. So that is going to be, if correct, cross your fingers, people, played 4, won 2, drawn 2, lost none. There it is. I'm not sure, like I say, whether it's Bryant loyalty or heart overhead or whatever, but they are my predictions for August. But let's now have a look in more detail at tomorrow's game, as like I say, we travel to Doncaster Rovers. Seems quite odd to be saying that Doncaster's confidence might not actually be that high despite getting promoted last season. They finished third in League Two, but considering they were top when they secured promotion with about 5 games to go, they would probably slightly be disappointed with the way they ended their campaign. I think they lost 4 of their last half a dozen. Pre-season's not gone great for them. I think they played 6 games in total. They picked up wins against non-league sides, similarly to what we've done, so you can't read too much into that. But in terms of league opposition, they had a creditable draw at Derby, but then suffered defeat at Sheffield Wednesday in their penultimate pre-season fixture before getting thumped at Chesterfield, who are now in League Two. I suppose if you was a fan of Doncaster, if you was trying to put a positive spin on it, you'd say pre-season games are not important in terms of results, but it's a little bit concerning. You'd have to think that they've been beaten quite badly. In terms of players and threats that they have, obviously there's one there that we know all about, and that's John Marquis, who did really well last season. Played 48 times for Doncaster, scored 25 and set up a further 7 goals. So you'd think if he can translate that League 2 form into League 1 form, he's going to pose a problem for most defences. But he's yet to really do it at this level. Again, though, he should be confident after that campaign last year. And another one who I'm going to pick out is a new arrival, which is Alex Kiwomya, who arrived from Crewe on a free transfer. He played 39 times last season, scored 7 and assisted 5. He brings ultimate out-and-out pace, which could cause us a problem. But you'd hope that the likes of Scott Wagstaff, if he plays, or Bradley Garmston at wing-back would have enough about him to maybe be able to counter that, but I think he could cause a problem. In terms of us, it's been reported today that aside from the unfortunate Aaron Morris, who it doesn't look like we're going to see for a while, we may have a fully fit squad to pick from. Connor Wilkinson and Alex Lacey have apparently responded well to treatment and could be available. I wouldn't start either of them, to be honest. So that moves me on to the next bit. If I was picking the team, I would have Tom Hadler in goal, but that's not going to happen. That's been confirmed that the club are actively looking to get him out on loan. And according to Facebook reports, Stuart Nelson has told a fan that he's not required tomorrow. So it looks like it'll be Thomas Holy in goal. But in front of him, I would pick the following in a 3-5-2 formation. That would be Max Amar, Gabriel Zakwani and Luke O'Neill as 3 centre-backs. In front of them, I would have Billy Bingham shielding. I would play another 4, which would be Bradley Garmston and Scott Wagstaff in their respective wing-back roles, with Josh Wright and Lee Martin in the middle. And up front, as it stands, I would plump for Tom Eaves and probably Josh Parker, based on experience. If Connor Wilkinson was fully fit, I'd put him in instead of Josh Parker. But that's the team I think we may play. In terms of a prediction, you already know because you've watched the rest of the video, and I've done it in my monthly prediction, and I'm going to go for a very handy and creditable opening day, a 1-1 draw. As always, thanks for watching. Please keep liking, please keep subscribing and retweet. I can't say that word. Retweeting. Thanks for the ongoing support, and until next time, up the Gills.